welcome back. We're going to do something a little different this week. This is going to be kind of closer to what I do at home for my own personal practice. Some of you have asked for a more challenging practice, so I'm just going to kind of go through something that is still gentle, but just a little more in-depth. We certainly have a lot of the chair yoga videos, so there's a lot of resources out there for people who need an even more gentle practice. So I did my teacher training at the Sivananda ashram in India, and they have a lot of sister ashrams worldwide. So I'm just going to kind of run through that practice, but personalize a little bit more for what I do every day. So I hope this helps, and I hope you enjoy it. We're not going to use a chair for this practice. All you'll need is really a yoga mat. If you have a strap, grab it. If you have a block, grab it. But other than that, you just need yourself and a mat. Come into any kind of comfortable position. I have a bolster I'm sitting on, but if you need to use a chair or you want to just sit cross-legged on your mat, that would be fine too. And so the Sivananda practice starts with an invocation to Ganesh, who is the remover of all obstacles. Certainly something we could use at this time. Having a strong practice is very important for times like this to really cultivate some inner peace, right? So let's go ahead and bring our hands in what's called Chin Mudra. So that's when you're kind of making like the everything's gonna be okay symbol, where your pointer finger, your ego finger, is tucked behind your thumb. And you want your chest to be lifted and your shoulders to be relaxed and your head to be balanced over your tailbone. You want to pull your belly pit in so you're not overarching the low back. And we're just going to start with some deep breaths. Very slowly inhale through the nose, fill the belly, fill the chest. Exhale through the nose, feel the chest fall and the belly draw into the spine. Deep, full breath from the bottom up in. Even slower on the exhale with a lot of control out. Last one, and we'll begin the chant. Bring our hands in front of our heart. On the next big inhale, fill up. Om Gajananam Bhutaganadi Sevitam Kapita Jambufala Sarabhakshakam Umasutam Shokavanashakaranam Namami Vigneshwara Pada Pankajam Shadananam Kumkumarakhtavaranam Mahamatim Divyamayura Vahanam Rudrasya Sunam Surasya Nanatam Kuham Shadanam Sadanam Prapatipye Yakundendu Tushara Haradavala Yashubra Vastravrita Yavinavarananda Manditakara Yashveda Padmasana Yabrahmachuta Shankara Prapatibidavai Sada Pujita Sanampatu Saraswati Bhagavati Nishesha Jadyapaha Om Namah Shivaya Gurave Sachitananda Murtaye Nishprapanchaya Shantaya Shri Shivanandaya Te Namah Shri Amamritandaya Te Namah Shri Vishnudevanandaya Te Namah Shri Mamagaya Te Namah Om Sarva Mangala Mangalye Shive Savarta Sadike Sharanye Trayambake Gauri Narayani Namostute Narayani Namostute Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Peace Peace Peace. So that was our invocation to clear away the obstacles from our practice and from our lives to Ganesha. So from here we'd move on to Kapalabhati breathing. So this exercise, what's important is that the emphasis is on the exhale. So it sounds like this. This is also excellent for lung health, especially with all this coronavirus stuff going around, right? Really fortifies the lungs, the respiratory system. So again, you want the belly to kind of fill automatically on the inhale, and you don't hear it. And you only really hear the nice, forceful, strong exhale. So in other words, your belly moves in on the exhalation. That's important. Okay. So we do about 30 pumps, and then we're going to take a comfortable breath. And the second time we hold the breath, and that retains all the chi from what we're cultivating. They call this a skull cleanser because it really does clear your mind, clear your senses, and strengthen and empower your lung capacity. Kapalabhati breathing. Let's do 3 rounds. Very slowly, you're going to inhale, fill the belly, fill the chest. Exhale all the way out, belly draws in. And those of you who are new to the practice can have one hand on your belly. Inhale. Begin. Good, keep going. The rhythm is like this. Exhale, 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 exhale. Just a few more. Exhale, exhale, exhale. And then slow it down. Inhale completely. Exhale completely. Good. Inhale, comfortable breath. And hold this breath. As you hold it, feel your belly or your Mula Bandha pulling in, Uddiyana Bandha pulling in, your chin tucked down to chest, and your tongue pressed to the roof of your mouth. You are holding the breath the whole time I'm talking here, right? So the bandhas are locks to retain chi in the body, all up the kundalini, all up the chakras in the spine, right? And you start as you're holding the breath, feeling this wonderful chi, these endorphins swirling around, right? This really brightens your chi. It makes you regain all your vitality, your clarity. Wonderful practice. Okay, with control, you unlock your bandhas, right? And then you exhale slowly. This is not an advanced practice. This is a very basic practice that they would teach at any Sivananda ashram, even to beginners. So that was 1 round. Let's do 2 more, okay? Inhale completely. Exhale completely. Take a comfortable breath in. And begin Kapalabhati. Exhale, 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 exhale. Belly is pulling in on the exhales. Good. And you might even want to blow your nose before you do this or afterwards, right? Keep going. You can pause anytime you need to, blow your nose out. It does bring up a lot as it cleanses the whole respiratory system. Good. Slow it down. Inhale completely. Exhale completely. So you want to inhale about 3/4 of a comfortable breath. And hold. Feel your bandhas engage, right? Bottommost. Tongue is pressing to the roof of the mouth. Chin is tucked down. Keep holding. Feel the chi swirling as you hold. Very good. Keep going if you can. And when you're ready, relax the bandhas. Untuck the chin from the chest. The tongue comes away from the roof of the mouth. Exhale slowly. Very good. So 1 more round, Kapalabhati. Inhale completely. Exhale completely. Inhale and begin. Keep going. Exhale, 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 exhale. exhale, 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 exhale. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Start to slow it down. Inhale completely. Exhale completely. Inhale 3/4 of a breath, nice and comfortable to hold. Last retention, last hold. Engage all of the bandhas one at a time. Throat, roof of the mouth, the tongue is pressing. Keep holding. Feel the chi. Feel the stillness in your soul. Unlock the bandhas. Exhale slowly with control. Very good. Now, 3 comfortable breaths. Inhale, fill the belly, fill the chest, fill the throat. Exhale completely. 2 more. Exhale. Some people, and I was one of them, after you learn some pranayama breathing exercises, you'll feel more clarity and more benefit than even if you did 2 hours of yoga practice, asana practice on your mat, right? So that is why pranayama is such an integral part to integrate into your yoga practice. There are 8 limbs of yoga, not just 1. Not only that, but there are 4 paths beyond the 8 limbs of Raja Yoga. There's Raja Yoga, Jnana Yoga, the study of texts, of sacred understanding, purifies the mind. There is Bhakti Yoga, sound vibration, right? Dedication and devotion to God, to spirit. That is one path of yoga. That's what Kirtan is all about. There's the Raja Yoga path of doing asanas, doing pranayama, doing meditation, right? And then there's Karma Yoga, humanitarian work. So yoga is far beyond. That's what I loved about Sivananda Yoga. Okay, so that was Kapalabhati. The second practice that we do, and we're only going to do 3 rounds because I don't want to overwhelm you. We did it in one of the other videos, is alternate nostril breathing. So let's just do 3 rounds of that just to give you an introduction. And you can always pause the video and add more rounds, right? The ratio again is inhale for a 3 or a 4 count, depending on your capacity. Hold for 4 times that, so 12 or 16. Exhale for 2 times the original count, so 6 or 8. Let's start easy. You're going to use your right hand to your nose. Left hand stays and everything's going to be okay, Chin Mudra. Right hand comes in Vishnu Mudra. Peace fingers are tucked down. Thumb controls right nostril. Ring finger controls left nostril. Right shoulder is relaxed the whole time. Plug up your right nostril. Inhale through the left side for 3, 2, 1, close both, nice and firm, hold. Good, good, good. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Excellent. Right nostril, exhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right nostril, inhale, 3, 2, 1, and hold. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Left nostril, exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Left nostril, inhale, 3, 2, 1, and hold. Now while you're holding, this is where you're feeling all the chi. So alternate nostril breathing helps balance out the 2 hemispheres of the mind. The 2 nadis are getting equalized, right? The energy that's flowing up both sides, the yin and yang of your body chi channels. Good. Right nostril, exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right inhale, 3, 2, 1, and hold. Keep holding. Feel the chi swirling around. Feel relaxed as you hold so you have sustainability and longevity. Keep holding. Good. Left nostril exhale with control. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Left inhale. 3, 2, 1. And hold. This is the last round we'll do. Feel the stillness of your soul. And right nostril exhale. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right inhale. 3, 2, 1. And hold. Hold. Mind is clear. Beautiful. Left exhale. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Release the arm down. Both hands go back to Chin Mudra. Inhale, fill the belly, fill the chest, fill the throat. Exhale, empty throat, chest falls, belly draws into the spine. 2 more big full rounds of nice full Ujjayi breathing. You're using your whole abdomen, right? It's a great way to bring on the endorphins. Last one. Good, so nice. Shoulders up to the ears. The right shoulder's probably a little tight from that. Exhale back and down. Do 2 more. Oh, so good. Okay, so at this point in the practice, we lay down as if in a mini Shavasana. It's important because we are absorbing all the benefits from the breathing exercise before we move into the physical asana practice. Okay, so once you guys are laying down, no big fuss with Sivananda yoga, do what you have to do to be comfortable laying down on the ground. Like I said, if you have a strap, grab it, but you don't necessarily need it. So after we did all that pranayama exercise, we want to lay down on the ground and allow the practice of that pranayama to be absorbed, all the benefits to be absorbed in the body. So close the eyes, take full belly breaths. Inhale, fill the belly, fill the chest, fill the throat. Exhale, empty throat, feel the chest fall, belly draw down. Do this a few more times, big fluid breaths. 1 or 2 more. Good. And then inhale, give a nice little stretch overhead, hook the thumbs, point the toes, press the low back into the ground. At this point in the Sivananda practice, we would hop up and come to standing and do our sun salutations. But what I like to do for a little bit of a gentler approach is just do a few little warm-up stretches here on the ground. So do as I'm doing here, where you just pull the knees into one shoulder and then the other, warming up the back, massaging the fascia. Maybe the head slightly goes in the opposite direction that the knees are going, and make it feel good for another breath. Good. And you also notice I don't have any music playing. In Sivananda yoga, there is no music. It is a practice about finding inner peace and feeling it in your soul and being okay in the silence, in the silent places, right? So let's go ahead and plant the left foot down flat. If you have a strap, take it around the ball of your right foot just to open up the hamstrings a bit before we jump into that sun salutation practice. The right hand is higher than the left. The right leg is extended. If you don't have a strap, you're interlacing behind the thigh. Thigh pushes into the hand. Breathe into it. This should feel great. Inhale, flood a lot of prana into that hamstring for 3. So nice. 2. And 1. If you don't have a strap, maybe twirl the toes around a bit here. If you do have the strap, maybe holding on with just your right hand, your windshield wipering, just loosening everything on up. For another breath or 2 of just a little self-care for that whole leg, foot, and ankle, right? Good. Pull the knee into chest, move the strap out of the way, twirl the knee around so the hip flexor is loosening. Do this for another breath or two in each direction. And maybe take the right ankle onto the left thigh and a little windshield wipering here, side to side, to loosen up the right hip even more, ready for all the lunges we're about to do. The Surya Namaskar, or sun salutation sequence, that is done in the Sivananda practice is one in which we're constantly flowing. There's no pause during down dog, and we're doing a bit of a lunging sequence. You'll see. All right, from here, you can maybe pull this whole nice figure 4 shape into chest. This is a nice little hip stretch to make it deeper if it's appropriate, right? Use common sense. If something doesn't feel good, if you know it's not appropriate, don't do it. If your doctor would think it's a bad idea, don't do it. Interlace behind the left thigh. Let's open up this leg. Chin tucks down to chest. Feel a nice extension through the heel. Breathe with it. Inhale, flood the hamstring open. Exhale, flush out any tightness, any stagnant chi. Good. One more. Inhale. A lot of nice new chi flooding in. Exhale, flush out the stagnant chi. And then if you don't have a strap, go ahead and twirl the toes around. Make it feel good in that ankle. And if you do have a strap, or even if you don't, you can windshield wipe or swipe a little bit here. Just loosening everything up. Good. Once the hamstrings feel nice and open, squeeze the knee into chest. Twirl with the left hand on the knee so that the hip opens. Just going through this warm-up. Kind of briefly, switch directions. Again, this is just kind of my home practice that I do at home since some of you have asked. And then the ankle comes onto the right thigh. It's the ankle on the thigh, not the foot on the thigh, and you are in a nice open figure 4 shape with the knee pressing forward. Maybe there's a little swiping back and forth to open up the hips. And to help massage the fascia even more, if it's appropriate, pull the right foot away from the ground, making it deeper. Whole time, big ujjayi breaths, flooding your practice. Breathing is so important in our yoga practice. 2 more, inhale. Good, exhale. Yoga means yoking, the yoking practice. Practice of yoking the mind and the body, right? And the breath is the bridge. Okay, release. Feet wide. I like to throw this in too. Feet are wide on the floor, knees windshield wiper. This is another great one to loosen hips and massage low back. Maybe the head goes in the opposite direction the knees are going. Excellent. Feet come back in. Hands make a pillow under the head. Elbows relax down, shoulders melt down, chin to chest, head plugs hard down into the hands like a plug into a socket. Breathe through the neck here. Breathe as if that neck, that cervical spine is an open column. Imagine like you're flushing open each vertebrae, each disc. Keep plugging the head hard down. There's such nice traction for the neck. 2 more breaths. Good. Last one. Arms come wide. Draw the head to the left as the right ear presses down. Take a deep breath in. On your exhale, draw the head to the right as your left ear plugs down. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, draw the head to the left as the right ear plugs down. Take another deep breath in. Flood prana right there. Good. Exhale, switch. Draw the head to the right as the left ear plugs down. Good. Take another big full-length stretch as the head comes back to center and either roll over to the side to pop up, or with the hands under the thighs, go ahead and rock and roll, massaging the spine And then maybe either coming up to seated and then to standing, or you can try to come right to standing from here. Let's see if I can do it. As my girls would do in gymnastics. Ta-da! Right? Okay. Okay, so I've turned my mat so you can see better the sequence. So one thing you should know is that in Sivananda Yoga, the Surya Namaskar is intended to be an offering. It's like a prayer. So let's stand with our feet hip-width distance apart to start, and our palms facing forward. Our belly pit is pulling in, and our chest is lifted and the head is centered, and just feel your weight on your mat. We're going to go through the first one very slow, but many of you will find the sequence quite fast. Let's take a few breaths here. Inhale, fill the belly, fill the chest, fill the throat. Exhale, feel yourself grounded into space. One more, inhale. On the exhale, bring the hands in front of the heart to begin this prayer. On the inhale, our arms move up slowly and the palms are facing forward, so that on the exhale, as you come into a forward fold, it is truly as if you're bowing to the sun. Nice deep forward fold, and on your inhale, fingertips come down in line with the heels. Lifting the chest to a flat back, the right foot steps way back. The knee and the top of the foot is down. I will say that if you have not great knees, you might want a folded towel under the knees, where the knees would be. And that folded towel can just rest here the whole time. Okay, with your fingertips down, your hips are gliding down, the chest is up, the crown is lifting. And because this is our first one, I usually like to just kind of rock it out here, loosening up the right quad, loosening up the hips. Take another breath or two. Make it feel good. On the exhale, really releasing any tension. Remember that the left knee is a nice 90-degree angle here, and so is the ankle. So in other words, if it looks like this, you really need to bring the foot more forward. The other thing I might do here just on the first one is drop my right palm down so that it's right under the shoulder and just come into a little twist. I might even reach my left arm high as my knee is squeezing into my center line. Toes on the back foot could grip the mat and the knee could come away for a nice expansive stretch. Good. On the exhalation, we come down into plank and step the foot back. Take a deep breath in here, and on our exhalation, the knees, the chest, and the chin drop down like an inchworm, very different from chaturanga. On the inhale, we glide up into cobra, so those elbows stay bent, shoulders stay back, and chest stays lifted. On the exhalation, the toes tuck into the mat. And if you've noticed, I brought my legs in a little more, and then press into down dog. Now, in a lot of different Western stylized Surya Namaskar sequences, you would pause here for a few breaths in down dogs. Not the case with this Hatha Yoga Pradipika practice that is the Sivananda practice. So from here on the next inhale, the right foot steps big. You really want to get that foot forward, so again you have your nice 90-degree angles and the left knee and the top of the foot drop. Rock it out, make it feel good here in the hips and the left quad. For 3. So nice. 2. And 1. And then again, left palm under the shoulder, right hand to the knee. The knee squeezes the midline as my chest turns and maybe my right arm soars. Notice that the palm is facing the front of the room. From here, maybe the toes grip the mat, knee comes away from the ground, and I come into a nice, almost like a crescent lunge twist. Good. On the exhale this time, fingertips come back down. We end as we started. So the left foot steps. Maybe the feet are together or hip-width distance apart, and we keep a nice forward fold. On the inhale, a reverse bow. And on the exhalation, the hands come together in front of the heart. So that was the right side leading. To finish this round, because it's in rounds, we're going to let the left side lead this time. On your inhale, bursting up, palms face forward. On your exhale, bowing deep. Inhale, fingertips in line with the heels, left foot steps way back, knee and the top of the foot drop down as the gaze soars forward. Pausing in a high push-up on your exhalation. Inhale here, knees, chest, chin come down on the inhale, bursting up into your cobra. On your exhale, downward facing dog. Left foot is leading, so left foot steps, right knee, top of the foot comes down, gaze is forward. On your exhalation, right foot steps and we bow. Inhale, reverse, bow up, and on your exhalation, hands in front of the heart. As you start moving and flowing with breath, it does truly become a prayer. Your body kind of falls away and it becomes like a moving meditation. Let's see if we can feel that on the next two. Inhale, palms face forward. To reach, exhale, bowing down, nice and deep. Right foot steps way back, knee, top of the foot comes down. Maybe the arms reach up. On our exhalation, high push-up. Pause as you take a deep breath in, and exhale, knees, chest, chin come down. Inhale, cobra up. On your exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right foot is leading, so right foot steps, knee on the back comes down, top of the foot comes down. Maybe inhale, reaching on up, if there's an availability for that, it feels appropriate in your body. On your exhale, the hands come down, the left foot steps, and we fold. On our inhale, reverse bow up. On our exhale, hands in front of the heart. Left side, inhale, reach. Exhale, bow. Left foot steps back. Maybe reaching up. Exhale, come into plank. Pause, inhale. Exhale, knees, chest, chin come down. Inhale, cobra up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left side steps. Maybe there's a reach. Exhale, folding at the front of the mat. Inhale, reverse bow. Exhale, hands in front of the heart. Pause into a mountain pose before we do the last round. Palms are facing forward, chin is to chest. Inhale, breathe with the belly. Exhale, maybe bring the hands to chin mudra. Feel yourself lock in the chi as you keep breathing. And you feel the chi swirling around from that sun salutation sequence you just did. You really feel it. Good. Let's do one last round. Coming back to center, hands in front of the heart. Inhale, reach up, palms face forward. On your exhale, bow. Right foot steps, knee, top of the foot comes down. Maybe there's a reach up. Exhale, high push-up. Inhale, pause. Exhale, knees, chest, chin come down. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, down dog. Right foot steps. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fold at the front of the mat. Inhale, reverse bow. Exhale, hands in front of the heart. Inhale, reach up, left side. Exhale, bow. Left foot steps back. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, high push-up. Exhale, knees, chest, chin come down. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, down dog. Left foot steps. Exhale, bow. Inhale, reverse swan dive up. And exhale, hands in front of the heart. Beautiful. Come back open into your mountain pose at the front of the mat so your toes are a little wider than the heels. Chin to chest. Take a deep belly breath in. Fill the chest, fill the heart, fill the throat. Exhale out. Maybe the hands come into chin mudra to lock in the chi. 2 more breaths. Let's do a little side together on the last one. Inhale big. Very good. And then lift one heel and then the other. And the next time you lift your left heel, go towards your right. Next time you lift your right heel, go towards your left. So in other words, just a very natural little spin. Look behind a little further. Each time, feel your ankles loosen. Like you're just kind of drawing an invisible hula hoop right around you, nice and big. Make it feel free, make it feel good. Good. From here, I like to move into a little Kripalu move. Kripalu yoga has this wonderful breath of life, right? So it's an inhale forward, inhale to the side, inhale up, and you're off your heels, and then exhale down. So it looks like this. Like you're just filling up with life, like a hot air balloon, filling up. Really gets the chi nice and high, nice and alive and vibrant in the body. One more. And then grounding, mountain pose for 3. 2. And 1. And then let's bring our feet together. I'll mirror you guys. So what we want to do next is feel the belly pit pull in. That's important. Tailbone is gliding down slightly, right? So we're not overarching. Feel your left heel really root down as your left arm reaches up and over. And feel your hip pulse. On the next inhale, staying here, fingers spread more to the ceiling. On the exhalation, release. Let's do the other side just to open that side body up. Right heel roots, belly pit is still pulling in. Right arm reaches up and over. Feel the hips shine, feel the rib cage and the sides of the shoulders and the trapezius stretching. Inhale, feel the fingers spread, and on your exhale, release. With the belly pit pulling in, feet stay about hip-width distance apart, evenly pressing into the feet. Maybe there's an interlace, maybe you're holding on to a strap. Feel free to pause anytime you need to get your props. Shoulders move in towards each other. We don't want to overarch here, right? So keep that belly pit pulling firmly in. Chest can rise, chin can rise slightly as the knuckles press down, and maybe the palms kiss for 3. On the exhale, feel that good juicy squeeze of the shoulders towards each other. 2. Last one, maybe a little wiggle side to side to loosen things up. Maybe releasing, coming into a broader circle, and then release. Good. Let's do a little standing balance practice, and then we'll come to our mat. Okay, so for the standing balancing poses, I think I'm going to teach to 3 different levels. So if you're kind of still a beginner, I would just step into my left foot, feel the crown right over the heel, and come into a simple tree pose. The heel can be just propped up against the ankle, can be anywhere below the knee, or above the knee. Really, it's about you knowing where your growth is going to be. Where's your benefit, right? I talk about this a lot. Benefit is right where there's a little challenge, but not frustration, certainly no pain or strain, right? Knee is open, belly button is forward to your 12 o'clock, belly pit is pulling in, crown is over the heel. Maybe the hands come higher. The higher the hands go, the more challenging it is. The gaze is set to what is called the drishti, your focal point. So in a traditional Sivananda yoga class, from our Surya Namaskar sequence, we would come right to laying down, going into headstand, shoulder stand, and a few more principal key poses. This is my personal practice. I throw in some standing balance here. Good. Take another breath or two. Maybe on the last one, a nice reach up with the arms. Okay, for level 2, continue with me now. Just drop your right hand down. Grab the inner edge or outer edge of your back foot. Okay, push the foot into the hand for dancer pose. A side view might look more like this. This is okay here. If you have more experience, more range, maybe the hand drops to the heart, the foot is pushing now to the ceiling. Pause. Feel where it's still sustainable, even if it's challenging. For another breath. Never sacrifice stability for range. Very important. Good. And then maybe release. That standing balancing foot needs a little love, so go ahead and swish it out. Maybe send it back. Knuckles on the mat and swish the heel around. Right? Make that feel good for another breath. Okay, switch sides now. Right foot stamps down. Crown over the heel, drishti is set, belly pit pulling in, coming into your tree pose here on this side. Does not matter how far up you go. Never sacrifice stability for range. Breathe for 3. I once saw a man when I was in India, and he was a sadhu. He was in tree pose, and I went and I ran my errands. I was in Rishikesh, where a lot of the sadhus go for pilgrimage. And then when I came back later in the afternoon, hours later, he was still in tree pose, in this position. It's just amazing to me. There was like a real, true yoga practice of tapas, of offering. Okay, reaching up. So we always complain, right, if the teacher makes us stay for more than like 5 breaths. But there's amazing benefit to be had to hold poses longer, certainly. Okay. If you would like more of a challenge, go ahead and reach your right arm high. Right foot is down, right? Left hand grabs the inner edge or outer edge of the foot. Foot pushes into the hand for dancer pose or dancing Shiva, right? You don't want the knee to flop open to the side. You want to push the foot into the hand so it goes straight back. If there's range to go further, the hand drops devotionally to the heart, the foot towards the ceiling. Another breath or 2, staying in your center, staying with your breath. Good. Last one. And with control, slowly release. That standing foot, go ahead and twirl it around a bit, give it a little love. Then send that foot back behind you. On the knuckles, swish the heel out. Good. From here, come back to the front of the mat. Take the feet wide and come into a nice ragdoll. So the knees are very bent and the head is very much hanging loose. And you're grabbing opposite elbows, and maybe even shake your head yes or no a couple times to make sure that head is loose. And then breathe here as you rock your torso like a pendulum, like a grandfather clock. Right? For 3. 2. As you breathe in, imagine like you're flooding prana right into your low back. And around the back of the hips. Last one, inhale. Exhale, bend the knees, a little arms out to the side for a bit of a reverse swan dive. But when you get to about here, drop your hands again and drop your head. And now it's a bit of like a ragdoll, like zombie ragdoll with your head rolling one way and then the other. Make it feel good on the outsides of neck and shoulders. For another breath or 2. This is just a nice way to kind of treat your spine, give it some love, give it some nice feel-good movement, restorative movement. And then the feet come back together. With the heels rooting, belly pit pulling in, inhale, reach up. And on our exhale, let's swan dive all the way down. On our inhale, find our flat back, knees softly bend, the chest peels up, hands are at the shins, and then plant the palms on the ground and step it back to high push-up. On your exhale, lower to chaturanga. So now the elbows squeeze into the midline and we lower to a low push-up, right? Then as we inhale, the heels have to work to push us forward and through so that in our up dog, our hands are still under our shoulders and not way forward, right? So if I didn't do that move, in other words, I'd end up like that. No good. You need to slither on through for up dog. Knees maybe pulled away from the mat if you're more advanced. Crown lifting, heart open, beautiful stretch here. And on our exhale, rather than down dog, let's just come into a nice child's pose. Crown and forehead melting down. Forehead melting down. And then go ahead and as the hips rock back and forth, in a restorative motion, we're massaging from temple to temple. Make it feel good. Take 2 or 3 more breaths here. And then maybe roll onto the crown of the head, knees come in, just stimulating the crown chakra a bit. Now, this is where in Sivananda yoga I would start doing my 12 sacred pose sequence. There is a headstand involved, so I'm going to give you a couple options. Option 1 for beginners. You are literally just doing that. Your crown of your head is down on your mat, your hands are on the outsides, your knees are a little bit wide, and you're just stimulating the crown chakra. So you're getting a lot of the benefits of headstand without a lot of work, right? If you'd like to do something more like dolphin, you're interlacing your fingers. It's kind of like you're creating this on the ground, right? You're creating like a little basket. Your pinkies are down, your elbows are about shoulder width distance apart and not wider, even though we tend to want to do that once we're upside down. And then it's truly the crown that's down on the flat mat with that basket supporting the back of the head. Then we're taking the toes and we're tucking them into the mat and maybe we're walking in. The shoulders are away from the ears and the forearms and the pinkies are really pushing down into the ground. This is dolphin. This could be plenty here. There's a couple versions of dolphin, one where your head is not down, but I like to teach this one. Option 3, maybe one leg lifts. And as you push into your elbows, maybe the other one lifts. This is only for those of you experienced with headstand practice. Breathe in your headstand practice for 3 to 10 long breaths. 10 is better. If those of you who have more practice would like to do some variations, as you can tell, it's a little hard to talk and do this. Go ahead and do some fun variations. Be very careful of your neck. Never do a pose that you're not ready for. Take another breath or 2 in your practice with headstand. When you are ready to come out, save enough energy to always come out slowly and carefully, not just crashing down, right? Okay, so when I'm ready to come down, I'm going to bring my knees into my chest and then with control, slowly bring my feet back down. And right away, I want to take my hands to my feet and my forehead down and my shoulders relax and just melt into the ground so that my neck and my shoulders can release any tension. 3 breaths here. Good, last one. And now I'm going to flip over onto my back and take my little Shavasana, my mini Shavasana that is very common in Sivananda yoga. So it's not just at the very end that we do the long Shavasana, we do throughout just to kind of absorb the benefit of all the Surya Namaskar we did, of that headstand, and sometimes I'll do this before the headstand practice, but I kind of find that child's pose is adequate. Let's take 2 to 3 more long breaths here. Good. There's a lot of controversy in the yoga world of what's the right way, right? What I find, and this is what I tell my students, and I'll just talk while you guys are resting and breathing here, as you're supposed to take a nice long rest, is that it depends on what kind of a person you are. If you're like a go, go, go kind of person, you're probably going to be more drawn to Ashtanga yoga or power yoga or vinyasa, right? In order to feel kind of that serenity, that peace, sometimes you need to kind of keep the busy mind and the busy body moving, right? Then there's those who think that that kind of yoga is just crazy and preposterous and not the right kind of yoga, and that the right kind of yoga is more like a Iyengar, where maybe you stay in poses a very long time with meditation. Well, for a person who needs that kind of stillness in order to attain stillness, then that might be right for them. But there's no right or wrong way. It's just what works for you, what path works for you. So please try to get away from that if you feel like something's not the right kind. There's so many kinds. And Krishnamacharya was Swami Krishnamacharya was one of the yogis who taught both BKS Iyengar, and he taught Patabi Joyce, who started Ashtanga yoga, and he even had a time where he was friendly with Swami Sivananda. So a lot of these paths can root back to Krishnamacharya, but the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali are so vague that it really was left for interpretation on the specific details of how to go about your yoga practice. So, right, a lot of it's intuitive. Okay, so we're going to move on to leg raises and some core, which you could do before or after the headstand sequence. In Sivananda yoga, they usually do it before. So the hands are under the head and the elbows are relaxed. And then go ahead and feel your low back snug down into the mat, nice and firm, like you're plugging a plug into a socket. I'm going to extend my left leg long, and my right leg is lowering as I push my low back down and lifting. I'm just going to do 3 of these. These are really simple, and those of you who are beginner, maybe this is all we do here, right? Just a few of these. Good. And then switching to the other side. So now my left leg will be lowering and lifting a few times. Good. Go as slow or as fast with it as you'd like. Those of you who want a little more, try this. One leg stays up, the other leg works. Maybe there's a little corkscrew twist with the inner thigh squeezing in, right? And then as that bottom leg lifts back up, maybe a little hop. Lower, corkscrew twist, hop. Breathe with this. This is a little adaptation of Sivananda. So any of you purists out there, yes, this is my own practice, but this is what works for me. Okay. Good. And then the other leg lowers. Corkscrew twist, uncorkscrew, and hop. And I mean, what I tend to do is like, how many? Well, how many depends on how I'm feeling that day. What is challenging but not frustrating will be very different from day to day. Am I going to slack off and not challenge myself? No, because my discipline is strong. But I'm also not going to do so many that it's going to weaken my chi, right? More is not always better, as long as you have discipline to do enough. Okay, and then release. Feet wide, knees touch, palms face up. Take a few breaths, fill the belly, fill the chest. So good. 2 more. I might even throw in a little hip opener here, maybe supporting my knees with a block or 2 when I'm doing my own practice. Those of you who want more of a hip opener, you can try happy baby pose. You would pull this prayer pose, butterfly pose up, separate the feet, grab the outer edges of the feet. The chin tends to pop up, so tuck that chin back down to chest, spine is long. Knees at a 90-degree or more open. Really nice hip stretch. Also very good for digestion, for the obvious reasons, and very good for the kidneys. Breathe with it for 3. The chakras are all in one nice line here. Breathe from tail to crown. Exhale. 2. Sending the chi right on up those chi channels. Good. Last one. And then rock it out. You might be one of the yoga students who tends to want to stay in poses longer. I tend to have a very busy mind and a lot of fiery chi in my energy body of my physical body. So I tend to like a little more movement. Not to say that I can't also stay still. So that's why my practice is kind of right in the middle. It's not that we stay very long in poses, but we also don't just plow through them all. Okay, good. From here, grab behind the thighs, rock, and roll, rock, and roll, and then on the second time or the third time, scooch forward, and we're going to get ready for the second of the 12 really kind of important poses in Sivananda, the shoulder stand. So we're on the edge of our mat, and this time when I rock back, I'm going to support my hips with my hands. Very important point here is when you rock back and grab your hips, don't turn your head from side to side. Keep your head right in the center. This might be what a shoulder stand for a beginner might look like. This is fine, 3 to 5 breaths here and then release. Those of you who have been doing this longer, I want you to try to walk your elbows in to each other a little more. Walk your hands down your back, pushing in the mid-back a little more. You'll notice the chest will immediately move in towards the chin, and the legs are nice and floating. We're not flexing, pointing, or strengthening the legs. It's like the legs are 2 buoys floating in the ocean, really buoyant and relaxed. Breathe here for 3. Big breaths. Funnel the chi right to that throat chakra. This is a very good pose for thyroid, whether you're a little overactive or underactive with your thyroid gland. Very good pose to balance that out. They call this the queen of the poses, while headstand is the king of the poses. I love that because it reminds me of my big fat Greek wedding where I think the mom says, you know, the king is the head of the family, but the queen is the neck, which can turn the head any direction she chooses. So that's an interesting parallel there. Good. All right, so when we're ready, maybe coming into plow, 1 foot lands past the head, and then the other. Maybe you do this a couple times, nice and playful, just to prepare the body. When you do feel ready, the toes ideally grip the mat. If they don't quite touch the mat, you want to keep supporting the back, very important. Again, the head never turns. If the toes can grip really nice here, some mornings I can't attain this, I'm too stiff. Some mornings I'm more open like now. The palms then can drop down, or you can interlace, pinkies down, knuckles press, heels press. Breathing, you guys are doing ujjayi breathing, I know I'm talking, but long breath never ceases here for 3 more. And anytime you need to come out of a pose, always feel free and listen to yourself. Be your own doctor first and foremost. Good. Last one, your own healer, right? Good in this world to be your own advocate, your own healer, your own mechanic. Hands on your hips, roll down. Good, very good. And then the legs come down, and let's just give the neck and the head a moment here to just kind of neutralize without even moving. We're just in a little mini starfish, mini shavasana for 3. 2. So speaking of being a mechanic, I have a little blue school bus, and I've been using this time of quarantine to kind of de-rust it. I found this great rust converter product. So I've been kind of like laughing at my own joke because I've been learning to be my own mechanic here, just kind of doing some like sanding of all the rust and de-rusting. It's going quite well, actually. I'm pretty proud of myself. Good. And then go ahead and just rock the head a little side to side and breathe with it. And our bus is fun because we take it across the country. I go with my girls a lot of places, camping and on little adventures and great adventures. We went to Yellowstone and Yosemite one year in our little school bus, and it was always a dream of mine. So definitely encourage everyone out there to really follow their dreams. Never feel like something's too difficult or too unattainable for them to do, right? Okay, and then once the neck feels good and everything feels gooey, let's do that good counter stretch after shoulder stand, which is fish pose. So first I'm just gonna kind of come back, slink back, a little wormy move there, and take one arm under the body, palm facing down, and then the other. My thumbs hook, and as the elbows walk in towards each other, the chest is starting to puff up like a little puffer fish, right? Then the legs extend. It is like you're hiding your arms behind you. This might be enough for a beginner, but if you are a little more advanced, you want to bend the elbows, push strong into the forearms, and as the chest rises, let the head just drop back. Very little weight on the crown of the head, if any, right? You're really strong in your forearms here. Breathe for 3 here in fish pose. Fill the belly, fill the chest. Good, 2. One more, inhale. And exhale. And then pull the knees into chest for a good little counter stretch. The other thing too is this. If you tend towards wanting more stillness and more still poses, or you tend towards more fast poses, the opposite can sometimes be very beneficial for you. The person who has to be go, go, go can benefit from more stillness, of course, meditation. And the person who tends to kind of want more stillness can sometimes tend more towards slothfulness, right? Or sedentariness, and in which case a little fast exercise would be very good for them. So there's benefits to both, but what it is that you just don't want to be turned off from your practice altogether simply because you're going kind of out of your comfort zone too much. From here, I would do a nice twist. One arm extended, the other hand goes to the opposite knee and presses the knees up and over. So in other words, if my left arm is extended here, my knees go to the right. My head wants to either face up towards the ceiling if the lack of range is there, but if we have some good range, then the head turns all the way to face the left as the knees are pointing right. If your knees are pointing too far down to the ground ahead of you, you're not in the right position. You want the knees in line with the hips or in line with the belly button, right? If you need to put a block between the knees, that can be nice. But this should be a restorative pose, so make it feel good in your body for 3. Fusion Sivananda class here. Good, 2. So nice. Feel all those endorphins starting to sip up all the nectar of our practice. Good. And then the knees up and over to the other side when you're ready. Right? The shoulders are flat while the hips are stacked one on top of each other. The shoulders are laying down side by side. This is what creates the twist. The head is falling, the ear is relaxing towards the ground, nothing is forced. Restorative here for 3. Breathe into your spine. Send the prana up each vertebrae between each disc. 2. Oh, so nice. Last one. Good. Come back to center. Bridge pose here. Feet are hip width distance apart. Walk back. Feet are back. And then go ahead and scoop your tailbone under and peel your hips up. This might be enough for a beginner. Remember, you're not squeezing your glutes at all. That damages the low back. You're using your quads. So in other words, heels dig forward, quads engage, right? Maybe you're more experienced. You walk your arms in, take the interlace, pinkies down. As the heels dig forward, the chest lifts to chin. Breathe here for 5 big breaths. Inhale. Thinking of Corinne over at Amherst Yoga, she always tells me to bring my knees in a little bit more, right? You always have different yoga teachers in your life. No matter how much you've learned, you always keep learning. And over at Amherst Yoga, I really have to say they have great instructors there. Good. 2 more breaths. Yeah, and especially when you've had babies, when you've had children, women tend to kind of open everything out in the hips. So now it's about kind of bringing it all back into alignment. 1 more big breath in, and then exhale. The arms move out of the way, and the spine rolls down 1 vertebrae at a time. Good, little windshield wiper. You can do that bridge pose 2 or 3 times. Always feel free to pause the video and do a little bit more if you like more. Another thing about this move here, where the feet are wide and we're windshield wipering, a nice way to kind of like make this a little deeper if you want to do this last time. Next time your knees are over to the left, take your left foot on top of your outer right knee. I love this move because it really stretches the outer hip and the top of the right quad here. So in other words, both knees are pointed left, left foot on top of the right knee. Make sure you're doing it the right way. This is one that's easy to kind of confuse. Good, so it's not like that, in other words, right? Now, knees are both pointed right. Right foot on top of the outer left knee. Let everything just fall. Breathe into that. So nice for 3. This whole practice just opens all my chi channels right up. This whole practice just opens me right up. It makes me feel good all day long. Good. When you're done with that one, let's just do one more nice big overhead stretch. And then bring the hands under the thighs, rock and roll forward and back a couple more times. Now, I might throw in a pigeon pose sequence or some crescent lunges or some warriors, but you can't do everything in one practice, right? So maybe we'll have to make another video at some point. But one thing I always do try to do is come back onto my belly before I end and maybe do a nice either cobra sequence or some kind of back bending sequence like bow pose. Bow pose is very good because it opens up the solar plexus, it fights depression. If your solar plexus is open, you have this inner sunniness that nobody can take away from you no matter how gloomy the day is. Bend the knees when you're ready, grab the outer edges of the feet. Feel the feet squeeze in, feet push into the hands, and then open up. Breathe here for 5. If you can. If anything feels pinchy at all, release right away. 4. Good. Feet are pushing into the hands, inner thighs are squeezing in. 3. On the exhales, maybe a little release to keep it sustainable. 2. Pop right back up. Good. Last one. Yep, so like today, it's all gloomy out. I think this morning I said it's like gloomy as Edgar Allan Poe's pajamas. If those of you want to feel a little playful, if you're feeling a little bit like you can do a little shoulder rock, go ahead and do a little side bow. This always feels really good, just flushing out the lactic acid in the arms. And then release. A little child's pose to release and counter that. Any variation of child's is welcome. Knees wide, forehead down, elbows down. Maybe the hands are by the feet for a breath or 2. I don't usually like teaching classes like this because I find that quite often people who are not quite ready for this practice will try to do a practice like this. Stick with the chair yoga, stick with a really gentle practice before trying something like this. You don't want to run a marathon before you do proper training. Okay, this is more for like the students who've been kind of in a dedicated practice for a while. Right arm comes out to the side. Left hand is under the shoulder We're gonna kind of reach that right arm out to the side as the left leg lifts. From here, bend the top knee. Let the foot find the outside or the ground outside your mat. The head drops down, the left elbow drops down. This is enough here, but if you can straighten that top leg and feel the hip just kind of fall to the ground behind you, I love this twist. It's a bit lower in the thoracic. It's a bit like more like in the lumbar, tiny bit, right? Most of our twists are a little higher. So it feels like a good rinse right in the sacrum. Take a deep breath in. Breathe up all that chi that's locked up in that sacrum usually. Exhale. Good. One more. Inhale. Exhale, release. Belly comes back down. Left arm slides out. Right hand is under the shoulder. As you reach, let the right leg pop up. Knee bends. Foot finds the ground outside the mat. Head drops. Right elbow drops. Maybe the right leg straightens to let that hip fall further if you have the range for it. And as that hip falls, feel that lower lumbar really twist right open. Take another breath or two. Breathe right into the sacrum. So nice. It's such a great way to end. And then release. As you drag yourself back through child's pose, we're just going to flip over onto our back for our final Shavasana. Good. So coming all the way down, let the feet flop open. So another thing about like yoga in India versus yoga in the West is sometimes you don't even have a yoga mat, right? And they certainly don't do all the fussing with the blankets and the bolsters and all the things. It's like you just come laying down really simply. If you need a little roll under the neck, feel free to get one, right? Breathe here. Inhale, fill the belly, fill the chest. On your exhale, we're going to start really relaxing the whole body as if it's dropping into warm sand. Inhale. Exhale, feel the toes and the feet. Relax heavy down, releasing all their micro tension. Inhale. Exhale, feel the legs, all the micro tension in the shins, calves, thighs, completely release. Deep breath in. Exhale, feel the whole back, relax down, belly and chest is soft, arms are heavy, micro tension in the arms, hands, fingers, completely relaxed. Inhale. Exhale, the whole torso, arms, hands, and legs and feet feel as if they're sinking into warm sand. Good. Feel the neck relax. Feel all the micro tension in the shoulders and neck completely melted away. Head is heavy. Muscles in the jaw and face are so relaxed that the face feels softer and that the sinuses feel more open. Inhale. Fill the belly. Fill the chest. Fill the throat. Exhale, your whole body is completely relaxed. Stay here in Shavasana. Enjoy this final relaxation. A lot of the poses that we did, like fish pose, are also very good for upper respiratory. This is a very good invigorating practice for the time. Right? Keep thinking of that book, Love in the Time of Cholera. Yoga in the time of corona. Take another breath or two. It's essential because it's not just about what we shouldn't be doing. It's about what we should be doing to strengthen our immune systems. All this hand sanitizer. You know, the thing too is that we have a lot of beneficial bacteria, germs, microbes on our hands. Probably way more than we do harmful bacteria. So when we hand sanitize, it's good to hand sanitize when it's needed, but if you overdo it, you end up killing a lot of the good microbes. So things like yoga, eating healthy, and enriching your immune system with the positive practices, not just taking away, but adding, is really the key to health. Okay, very slowly start to deepen your breathing. So good. Inhale. Take a couple more sighs with me. Inhale. And then stretch the arms. And exhale, roll over to one side, all curled up, feeling delicious, giving yourself a last good snuggle. Feeling those endorphins, so good for mental health and physical health. Keeping our spirits up is so important right now, right? Anything to kind of boost morale, and this certainly helps a lot. Come on up to seated. When you're ready, we're going to end with our final. We did our invocation to Gajananam, or to Ganesh, the elephant that removes obstacles. In Sivananda Yoga, even though this was kind of a fusion class, we do the Triambakam chant. The Triambakam is to Shiva. And Shiva is a bit of a protector. He kind of burns up all the things we don't need. Triambakam chant is also done on birthdays, on births, on deaths, before you travel anywhere. Very good protection chant. So I'm going to do that 3 times, followed by a Shanti mantra, which is a peace mantra. So you can either just sit up and do the Oms with me at the end, or just kind of sit in a little meditative practice as I do the chant. We're going to take a couple breaths. Make sure your head is centered over your tail, you're filling your belly, fill the chest, fill the throat. Exhale. When you start to feel a nice stillness and a little inner peace, take the hands in front of the heart and begin. Inhale. Om Triambakam Yajamai Sugandhim Brushtavananam Urvarukamiva Vandanam Mrityor Mukshyamam Ritat. Om Triambakam Yajamai Sugandhim Brushtavananam Urvarukamiva Vandanam Mrityor Mukshyamam Ritat. Om Triambakam Yajamai Sugandhim Brushtavananam Urvarukamiva Vandanam Mrityor Mukshyamam Ritat. Om Sarveshan Svastir Bhavantu, Sarveshan Shantir Bhavantu, Sarveshan Purnam Bhavantu, Sarveshan Mangalam Bhavantu. Sarve Bhavantu Sukhna, Sarve Santu Niramaya, Sarve Bhadrani Bhashantu Makashi Dukava Bhavet. Asato Ma Sat Gamaya, Tamaso Ma Jyotir Gamaya, Brityorma Brityam Gamaya. Om Purnamada Purnamida Purnat Purnamudashyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamemavashishate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Peace Peace Peace. Om Bolo Sat Swami Sivananda Maharaja Ki Jai. Om Bolo Sat Swami Vishnudevananda Maharaja Ki Jai. Om Bolo Sat Amamritanda Maharaja Ki Jai. Om Bolo Sat Nichiren Daishonin Ji Jai. Om Bolo Sat Gaia Ji Jai. Thanking all my teachers who have come before me. Thank you for allowing me to continue this lineage, to pass on to you, for wealth is health. Thank you so much. Stay healthy.